Hi, Kathy. Oh my goodness gracious. I am so excited to check out your shop. I'm going to go ahead and do a shop critique um, of your shop. We're going to go through every section. I'll let you know what I see. There may be some areas that you need to fix. There may be some areas that you're really strong on and you may not know. So we're going to go through everything and hopefully give you some suggestions that you can make some changes in your shop and start to get a lot more business coming in and purchasing from you. So usually when I do these critiques, I start with branding. And the reason why I do this, I'm not sure if you're in Flourish or not. If you're in Flourish, you probably already know, but branding is so important. And usually handmade sellers, they just don't think of it. They don't think that it's something that they really need. I think that sometimes when you have handmade sellers at home making stuff, they still think of themselves as crafters. They don't really think of themselves as business owners. So I suppose if they had a physical store, they would probably have wonderful branding, signs, banners, price tags, signage, window displays, things like that. That would be on their radar. But usually Etsy sellers, they just don't think that, hey, I'm an online seller, so why do I need a brand? But you do. And not only is it for aesthetics, you want to look one professional. Just because you're a handmade business doesn't mean that you don't want to appear like you're a good business owner, like you are uh, somebody that's trustworthy. You got to think about it. You're an e-commerce, so you're an online seller, and one of the number one problems with e-commerce and buyers buying online is trust, being able to trust who they're giving their money to, and hope that they're going to get the product that they order. So a way that you can establish that trust is to have a strong brand. Also, your brand is what's going to attract people into your shop. Now, at the same time, it will repel people as well. And that's okay. You want that. You want your branding to attract your target audience. And you want it to repel those that wouldn't shop from you in the first place. You don't need people to waste your time. So, it's very important that you know who your target market is before you create your brand. Now, I looked over your shop, and there's a lot of areas that we're going to talk about in this critique. However, your branding is a big one. So your shop name is Remember This Designs. Remember This Designs. Your tagline, it says vinyl graphic designs and decor. It looks like, and we're talking about your Etsy cover photo right now and your icon, your name and your tagline. For the banner, this is the new cover banner that Etsy came out with the new design, and so it's nice and big. So you really want to use this space to the best of your ability. This is a space for you to say, this is who I am as a business, and this is what I have to offer. And it's a space where you can design it to where it's visually appealing to people that are going to want to buy what you make. So I don't like it at all. This like marble-ish background that you have almost looks dirty. I'm not a real big fan of these font choices. They're pretty standard font choices. And when you have kind of a script or a curly title, then you want your tagline to be in a narrow block font. Now, please don't take any of this that I say personally. I'm not meaning this in any mean way at all. However, I do want to be really upfront and let you know there's certain areas that you can change that will make a difference in your business. So This is a pretty simple, you know, little flower. So a lot of times handmade sellers, especially when they first start, they don't they don't think about hiring a graphic designer or spending money on somebody to do graphics for them for their shop. It's not something they even usually think about. It's like all, you know, they go to set up an Etsy shop and all of a sudden Etsy says, well, you need to put something here. And then they're like, oh my goodness, and they just throw up, you know, something that they make up real quick. So this is very common, and you'll find it in a lot of Etsy seller shops. A lot of Etsy sellers have the same issue. Um, Also, you have your Facebook and your Instagram and your VIP group, which is your Facebook group, which is wonderful that you have those things. But again, that's not something you want to put in your Etsy banner. You could, if you had your own website and you did it very nicely and kind of classy, you could put like your website there, or if you wanted to, if you had a blog or something. But you don't really want to put addresses like this. One, it's not clickable. And so you're asking people to remember this. They're not going to even be able to copy and paste it because it's a graphic. It's not text. So unfortunately, I don't really think this is helping you any. If anything, it's creating busyness on your cover photo. This here, your Facebook and your Instagram one, I'm assuming that you left the R out for Remember This Designs. There's no R here, so this isn't doing you any good. At all, because if somebody puts that in, they're not going to find it. Of course, I'm assuming they would know, oh, I need to put the R in there, but maybe they wouldn't. And then you have Instagram. And the thing is you have this located right here. And these are clickable. I can click on these, as well as here. And if you wanted to put this in front of your buyer's face, you put it in the listings. There's no problem with that. In fact, you can even create a picture for your About page, one of these slideshow pictures, that has all your contact information on it. Your banner really needs to be your business name, your tagline, and you want it to create an impression. So you're telling me that you're a graphic designer, right? That you're a vinyl graphic designer. And I'm looking to you for you to design something, print it out on vinyl and then, or cut it out on vinyl and then apply it, but your cover banner isn't done very well. So again, you want to establish trust that, hey, I'm a legitimate business owner. I'm a legitimate expert at what I do. I create beautiful decor and customized pieces with vinyl designs that I made or that I cut. So you really want this banner because you're in the business of creating visuals. You want this banner to be really solid. So what can you do? That's nice, Sarah, cut me down, but what can I do about it? Well, of course you can hire a designer. We have many in Flourish, if you're in Flourish, and in many different price ranges, that can design an Etsy cover for you, an Etsy icon, a social media cover to match, if you want to go that route. If you want to do it yourself, canva.com, canva.com, I highly recommend, because it's something that you can do yourself with very little design background. Now, I actually made you one. One, because I am going to be doing a tutorial on Canva here next week for Flourish, but I will not use yours as an example unless I have your permission. So I went ahead and did something for you, and it does not mean that this is what you need to use, or if you want to have it. If you do want to have it, I'll be more than happy to send it to you, no charge. But it's just something I played around with because I am doing a tutorial on Canva. So I'm going to show it to you here in a second, and then you can you can let me know if it's okay to use it in a screencast tutorial or not. So what I pretty much did as when I created your graphic, I looked over your shop. I read your About page. I read your copy in your listings, and I I have an idea of who your target audience is, of who your, people that you're trying to reach. Um, I think in any kind of vinyl business at all, I think that the banner needs to be really clean, really clean. Um, it needs to be eye-catching. It needs to look professional because again, people are going to compare your shop to many others, and whoever's branding looks the best, along with other factors like product photography and pricing and stuff like that, are probably going to get that business. So I went ahead and created a cover photo. I know that you like this color because you have it a lot. So I wanted to find something that was still you, something that you liked. So I created this banner. Now you might hate it, and that's okay. Like I said, you don't have to keep this. Again, this is just something that, sorry, my ringer's off on my phone. It's just something that I did to kind of use as an example. But this is Canva. So all you do here with this is you can go to this Canva, C-A-N-V-A, you go to layouts, and they have some already pre-made layouts for you. You just click on it, you can change the colors, you can change the text, you can change the font, the size, you can add things to it. It's so easy. I simply went and chose this one. This was the template that I used. So I clicked it and it brought it up here. I changed the red to the teal color. I deleted the notebook icon. I changed, of course, the fonts and the names. I even made this a little narrow, more narrow. This right here, this blue, see, you can move it over. It's so easy. And then I added a flower because you had some flowers in yours, and you can make this bigger or smaller, however you like. And I liked this because it was a flower, but yet it was hearts. So again, it gives you that feeling like you care, that your heart is in it. It's handmade, it's homemade, you know what I mean? So that's kind of why I chose that. I changed the font. This is actually my brand's font. I'm a big fan of Sweet Peony. So remember this designs, which makes it look nice and professional, but at the same time, you know your target audience is mostly women, so I think it's going to be attractive to them. I changed your tagline up a little bit. Your tagline says vinyl graphic designs and decor. I changed it to gifts, decor, and more designed with vinyl. Because the fact of the matter is, your customers, many of your customers, don't know what vinyl means. I know that when I started coaching, believe it or not, I didn't know what vinyl meant. I never, I have lots of the vinyl sayings on my wall, but I didn't know they were vinyl. I was not knowledgeable in that kind of craft. So, I don't know. I call them stickers, wall decals. I don't call them vinyl. So even though you do and we do in the industry now, because everybody knows what it is and everybody's talking about it that are actually in the industry, your customers may not. They may be looking for decals, they may be looking for stickers, they may be looking for transfers, they may be looking for, who knows, just customized stuff, personalized stuff. So I wouldn't put a emphasis on vinyl like you have. Also graphics, they may not understand that either. So I think that mostly your customers are going to be looking for gifts. They're looking for decor. They're looking for little kind of different little things, and they don't know what it's called. So I also read one of your, some of your feedback, and you had a negative feedback that shouldn't have been negative. It was on a hammer, and the person said, I thought this was etched. But it's not, it's stickers, so I don't think it's worth it. And that's not your fault, other than the customer, for whatever reason, did not either read what you wrote or look well enough at the pictures or communicate well enough with you. And so there's things that you can do, because that's going to happen, and it's totally not your fault. I'm sure if the person would have reached out to you and said, hey, I like this etched hammer, you would have said, hey, it's not etched. But they don't do that, do they? They just buy, then they get something from you. And Next thing you know, you have a bad review and it's not even your fault. I mean, you're selling it as vinyl. Not your fault they didn't read, right? So there's little ways that you can go about formatting your shop and listing copy in your shop to try to minimize those things happening. So gifts, decor, and more designed with vinyl. Now you may have people say, well, what does vinyl mean? And then you can, open up a conversation, but it says it real clear right here. These are gifts, decor, and more designed with vinyl. So again, and as you see, when you have a scripty kind of script font, you want a more narrow block font as the tagline. I think this is clean. I think it's fresh. It's bright. It's pretty. I think it definitely would attract your target audience, and it looks very professional. So, and guess what? This was completely free to make. Free, completely free. Didn't cost me a dime. I can download it and I can share it. And I can, I'll send it to you. If you like it, I'll send it. You can have it. I'll send it to you. I'll even make you a social media cover to match if you like it. But I really think if you look at this versus this, who would you buy from? You know what I mean? Okay. So then you're like, okay, well, that's great. I have an Etsy thing, but then I also need this, and this has to match. Now, as you can see, your font here for Remember This Designs does not match your font up here. These flowers do not match these flowers. So this, other than the same blue color, it could be a completely different business. You don't want that. Your branding needs to be consistent. It needs to be consistent throughout the media, throughout online, everywhere you're represented. That means it needs to be the same on your Etsy shop, your Etsy icon. It needs to be the same on your business cards or your signage or banners you use at in-person fairs. It needs to be the same on social media sites, so like Facebook or Twitter or wherever you are. When you're making little memes or you're making holiday graphics or you're making different kind of promotions and you want to post them, it needs to be in the same font as your business. It needs to be in the same color. So the reason why you do that is it's brand consistency. So people, they start to trust you. They know, and they start to have brand recognition. So they know who you are. When they see you, they're like, oh, I know that logo, or I know that company. It's important that you do this. And again, you might say, I'm a small business owner, none of that matters. It matters, and you might think of yourself as a small business owner with only 37 sales, but you're in a industry where half of my 100K sellers do this stuff. They do vinyl on things. So you're in a great industry. You might say it's a little saturated, and it is, but that doesn't mean that you can't be selling $150,000 in sales by this time next year, because you absolutely can. I've seen it done. I see it done all the time. You just have to, to deal with your choices, or you have to make your choices, and you have to think about your business as a business. Okay, so, and these things that we go over in the 5 pillars that I teach within Flourish, they all help you turn your shop around to focus, to make it focused on being a business, to start to sell and market yourself. Okay, so absolutely, again, just a example of what I did. I did an Etsy shop icon as well. So again, if you go to Canva, and maybe I should do this here. Let me open up another tab. Oh boy. Let's open up a tab here, and let me just show you, because I don't know if you've gone to Canva before or not, but you can hit here. See, it says create a design. Click more. I mean, I know you see this here because that's what I've just used recently, but you click here, and this shows you everything that every template that they have. I mean, this is really an awesome, and I know my graphic designers don't like it when I push Canva, because this is what they do for a living, and they do it in Photoshop, and they create, they have education and experience, but not everybody can hire a graphic designer, and I understand that, and I think they do too. So if you really can't hire a graphic designer, use something like this. So you're at canva.com. Let's say you want to post a holiday promotion for Black Friday. We click Facebook post. It's already sized and everything. It has templates, everything that you could possibly need. Tumblr, Instagram, Twitter. See? So you wanted to do a document of some sort. You wanted to create a presentation or a brochure or something like that for an in-person show. You have the templates here, and you can put your branding on it. All right, so this is basically where you see social media and email headers. Facebook event cover. If you're going to have an event, it's there. If you want an actual Facebook cover for your social media, it's here. It's already sized out for you. Here's your Etsy shop icon, Etsy cover photo. So I just clicked on the Etsy shop icon. It brought up a white square. I matched the background to the cover photo that I did, color. I used the same symbol here, the same colors. This could be your shop icon. That's all it needs to be. Boom. This right here, it would match your banner. It would all flow nicely. And wherever you're located, and when you do communicate with people, they're going to see that, right? It doesn't need to have your name on it, because people will then start to associate this symbol and these colors with your business, right? So that's how important it needs to be. And again, you can have all this if you like it. If you don't, it's totally okay. I know that branding is really personal. So I just wanted to show you an example of what it would look like. All right, so again, what's another big part of your brand? You are, right? This is not, you're not some mass-produced company that gets their work done in their items done in a manufacturing plant or made in another country with slave labor. This stuff is coming from you, and you may say, well, I'm just cutting the vinyl and I'm just, taking it out, and I might buy designs from different places. Listen, this is a handmade business. You're the one that had to go out and buy these machines. They're in your home. They could be in your dining room or in your space where your family is. I mean, most of the time they are. This is something that you've taken and you've learned about. You've read about it. I don't know how to do this stuff, but you do. You've learned. You've taught yourself. You may do the designs. You pick the colors out of the vinyl. You cut them out and you place them, and then you have to photograph them, and you have to write the copy, and there's so much you have to do. You're a handmade business, so you are very much part of your brand. So then tell me why under shop owner I'm seeing a picture of flowers with just the first letter of your business. That's not good. I want to see you. I want to get to know Kathy. Who is Kathy? Kathy is the owner of Remember This Design. She's the creator. She's the soul and the spirit behind all these items. She makes these items with her hands. She stays up late after her kids go to sleep to get these things done. I don't know if you have kids. I'm just trying to make an example. It's very important that you sell yourself as part of a handmade business. People are buying on Etsy for a reason. They're not buying on Etsy because, they have cute stuff. They're buying on Etsy because it's a handmade online marketplace. It's people that love to go to craft shows and craft fairs, but there's not one in their area for the next 3 months. So they go on Etsy, or they have a special gift or a special something they want to give someone, and they don't want it to be duplicated, meaning they don't want everybody else who's giving that person a gift something to be picked up at Target or wherever it is. Hang on one second. Let me put you on pause for just a minute. Sorry about that. My kids do not feel well today, so they're kind of homesick and not feeling great. All right. Okay, so I was saying you want to make yourself as part of the brand. You have to. I mean, it's a handmade business. That's what it is. It's about you. If I wanted to get coffee mug that says drink up witches or some kind of funny Halloween thing is, I can go right now to Walmart or Target because it's October 22nd and I can find that and I can buy that. But it's going to be a cup that's made in China. Not that your cup isn't made in China, maybe it is. It's going to be something that was made through a machine that probably isn't going to hold up very well. It may not be as witty or as colorful as the designs that you use. It's something that it's just cheaply done. It's not created with love. It's not created with care. It didn't go through a process. It's just mass-produced junk, right? So, I'm on Etsy looking for gifts because I know that I expect them to be quality made. I expect them to be made with care. I expect them to be unique, to be different. And that's why I shop on Etsy. I also shop on Etsy because I support small businesses. I support people, entrepreneurs. So you're shooting yourself in the foot by not putting your picture here and not making yourself part of your story. So you really want to put a picture here. I would suggest you have a picture of your face smiling, big smile. Welcome people into your shop. Hi, come on into my shop. My name's Kathy. What can I do for you? Okay. Right here you have personalized gifts and decor. That's good. I mean, it's pretty general, but that's good. I just want to remind you, you do not have to put your tagline, which you have Vinyl Graphics Design and Decor. If you use mine, it's going to be the gifts, decor, and more designed with vinyl. But you don't have to put that here, even though that's the spot Etsy gives you. This is a very important line, believe it or not, in your shop. This is something that Google really pays attention to. They give that area, that line priority. So you want to rank high for Etsy, but you also want to rank for Google. So it's important to put keywords in here. So you have personalized gifts and decor, which is nice, but I might get a little bit more specific, like personalized coffee mugs or wine glasses or whatever it is. That might just help give you a little bit of a boost in Google ranking. Google also and Etsy looks at these shop titles, these shop section words. So you have sale, cups, cards, kitchen, holiday, earrings, keychain, wine glasses, plush animals. Now you do have them set up right. They're formatted right from the smallest word to the longest. That looks best. It's good for page flow. However, they're very, very general words. So I would absolutely change these to personalized cups or kitchen decor or holiday mugs or whatever it is that you do. I mean, you know better than me. I'm just giving you examples. Because the more specific you are, the better that's going to help you. Now, you don't want to be too specific. Like, you don't want to say acrylic stud basketball earrings. Like, you don't want to say that in your shop section title. Now, you could maybe perhaps in your listing title, but here you want to be specific, but not too specific. So I would say definitely personalized wine glasses or holiday or custom holiday mugs or something, like that. Just add a little bit more to these words. And then again, keep them to where they're the smallest to the longest. You have 48 items, which is a good amount of items in your shop. I think that's decent. Of course, the more the better. Is there a magic number that all of a sudden you're going to get a ton of traffic in? No, I don't believe so. And I've not, in all the reading that I've done and all the talks I've had with Etsy, I have not heard that there's any magic number that you have to reach. However, if you think about, the more items you have, the more keywords you have, the more tags you have. So obviously your reach would be a lot larger if you had more items, right? Because you'd have more keywords out there, you'd have more listings out there. So of course, I'm sure that as you add more, you're going to get busier and busier and busier just from that. But I don't think there's any specific set number you have to reach. I can say I wouldn't have less than 48. Now, it doesn't seem to matter in this new shop design. As you see, you just kind of scroll down and it shows all the items. In the old shop design, I used to tell my clients to do 48 versus 24 versus less than that, because each page was 24 items. So having 2 full pages kind of really made your shop look robust, made it look full, made it look like you know what you're doing. Okay, I'm going to skip over the main part of your shop for right now, and we are going to go down to the bottom. All right, this about section is extremely important. And again, like most handmade sellers out there, people don't take this section serious enough. You wouldn't believe how many times I hear, oh, customers don't even look at that section. They don't read it. They don't look at my pictures. That is not true. Now, I'm sure there are some that don't, but a lot of them do. And again, people shop on Etsy for a reason. Now, you as a seller might say, well, I don't really go through that. Well, you're not your target audience. So you don't want to just assume that because you don't look at something that your customer doesn't. So many times, oftentimes, customers want to know the story. They want to know who's making their item. They want to know why and where they're from. And they want to tell the story because usually people shopping on Etsy are buying gifts. And when they give a gift, they want to tell the person the story behind it. But that's not the only reason why you want to have a full and robust about page. Etsy has very clearly stated that sellers that have a full and robust about page will be given a slight bump in ranking. Now that's important to know, because anytime Etsy says they're going to give you a slight anything, to me means great. They're going to give a great bump in ranking. I think they're trying to minimize that. But what they're doing is they want to showcase that these are handmade. They've had enough problems with resellers and made in China stuff coming over and being sold on Etsy. So I think they want to really showcase the true handmade sellers that are selling on Etsy. Now, what do you need to have in this slideshow of photos? Well, you need to show, one, the photos need to be good. This photo right here is very grainy. It doesn't look very clear. It's very dark. It's very shadowy. This one's a pretty decent photo here, showing the light box, showing kind of what goes into having to take a photo of your item. That one isn't bad. You want to show a picture of you creating whatever it is that you create. I want to see you at your vinyl machine taking the vinyl off. I want to see you weeding your the vinyl. I want to see you placing it on the item. Hang on a second. I have to let my dog out. Hang on just 1 minute. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, it's very, very important. You want to show pictures of your workspace, of your materials, of your tools that you use, of the machines that you use. This adds value to your product because, again, now people are looking at it and they're saying, oh my gosh, you know, she's doing this right in her home and she bought all these materials and she has all these tools. I don't even know what they do and what kind of machine is that? And that's so cool. And she's actually, you can see her making it. It adds value to your items. You also want to tell your story. You have a paragraph here, and it's very generic. I'm assuming you're a very private person and you don't necessarily like to be front and center. And hey, that is completely normal, especially when we're talking about creatives. They tend to be introverts. They tend to be people that necessarily don't like to be in front of a crowd. But you're a business owner and you need to understand that being a handmade seller is a big selling point. So you really need to have yourself showcased and your story told, okay? Because it's part of your business. It's part of your brand. It's part of your products. So I'd like to see 2 to 3 paragraphs here of your story. You have, again, your Facebook group here. Apparently, your Facebook group is something important to you, as it should be. It's very lucrative for certain businesses to sell via Facebook, especially in a group setting. In fact, I have many Flourish members that make, 1,000+ a week selling in their Facebook groups. So I understand why this would be important, and it's fine to put it in your about section, but believe it or not, you can add a second Facebook link here. If this is to your page, you can add another one that can be to your group. And then of course you have all your other ones, which is good here. If you create your own website, which I highly, highly recommend that you do, you would put the link to your own website. And that's when you hear me say things in Flourish like funneling traffic from Etsy to your own website. This is a good place to do it in. Okay, now let's say that you're just not really strong at copy. What is copy? Copy is the text that is on your Etsy shop page, your listing page, your about page. Any text that's online is called copy, all right? And then you have copywriters that they make it their life's work to make that copy what we call yummy, where where you're selling this story and you're making people say, shut up and take my money kind of thing. So if you know, hey, I'm not really good at copy, hire a copywriter. You need to invest in your business. I mean, that's what business owners have to do. And if you can do a lot of it yourself, that's awesome, rock on. But if you can't, then hire someone who can. You know, it wouldn't cost, I don't know, under 20 bucks, I'm sure, to do a listing description copy, or I don't know how much it would be for an about page, but those little things, I mean, they're worth it because they can bring you so many sales back to you, right? So, you know, this just seems very bland and very general. You want to make sure that you're putting a little spark in your copy. All right, let's go back up. We're going to talk about your pricing and we're going to talk about your product photography. I realize that this is a very long critique, but there's a lot of work that your shop needs, and it's a good thing. It is not bad. It's a good thing, because that means if you can make these changes, you're gonna start increasing your views, increasing your activity, your engagement, your conversations, and ultimately your sales. You have a great product, you have a great talent. You just need to package it properly so that it can sell. Okay. Let's talk about your pricing. So you're using the 99-cent price point, which is fantastic. Using 99 cents or 95 cents is super important. There's something called psychology pricing, and I know that a lot of creatives, they hate it and they try to fight with me tooth and nail until I prove to them that it does work. But there's been hundreds of studies on e-commerce buyers, and there's been studies on which items are clicked the most, which price points are clicked the most, which price increments are clicked on the most, which ones are bought the most, etc., and so forth. In every single study, the prices that end with a 99 cents or a 95-cent price point are the most popular and the most clicked on and the most purchased. So you say what you like, you know, people like it or they don't like it, but it doesn't matter. Again, this is about your business and about what's going to make your items sell. So you're using the 99-cent price point, which is awesome. The thing that you're not doing really well is certain price increments. So in Flourish, what we teach is we have a whole pricing chart, right? So anything $9.99 and below should be in dollar increments, $9.99, $8.99, $7.99, all the way down to $0. Then after $9.99, the next price increment is $12.99. Then it jumps to $14.99, then $16.99, and then jumps to $19.99. So it's almost in twos until you get to $16.99. So what does that mean? You don't want to use anything with 10, 11, 13, 15, 17, or 18. Okay? So right here, as you see, you have $15.99. You need to mark that down to $14.99 or mark it up to $16.99. I suggest you mark it down until you fix your pictures, because your pictures are not very good right now. So I think it's going to be very hard and tough to sell your items with pictures looking like they are. So I would mark it down. However, if you get amazing kick butt pictures, then you want to mark it up. Well, I mean, depending on what the market is. So you might say, well, how do I know how to price my items? Well, you want to look at your competition and you want to be kind of medium to high. And then as you get more sales and as you improve with your copy and as you improve your photos, as you improve your branding, you can start to ask a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And then all of a sudden you are the leader in your industry. Okay, so this needs to be $16.99. This is good at $12.99. This is good. Again, I would take this down to $14.99. That seems fine for earrings. I'm not really sure. Again, you could, this needs to go up to $16.99 or down to $14.99. This needs to be $9.99 or mark it up to $12.99. Same with this. So, and you got to think about that. I mean, I don't know, where are you from? Does it say where you're from? Massachusetts. Okay, so you're from the United States. Now, in the US, we are taught to round, right? We're taught to round up or round down. So if we're looking at $15.99, that's over $15, right? So the way that we see it, even if it's subliminal, even if it's a subconscious thing, we are hearing over in our head. If it was $14.99, it would be under $15, okay? So then we'd be hearing under. And somebody says, you know, hey, where'd you get that? Oh, I got this on Etsy. I got it for under 15 bucks, right? That's what we say. That's how we communicate. So that's kind of how it works in your brain. Now you might say, well, why, if I had something, well, let me real quick go over the increments. Over $19.99, it should be in $5 increments. So $19.99, $24.99, $29.99, $34.99, $39.99. That's where the rounding comes in. So you would round up or you'd round down. So if something was $24.99 versus $25.99, you'd say it's under 25 bucks. If it was $25.99, it's under $30. You see what I mean? So, or it's over $25. So it really does make a difference. You do not want to have something like this for $10.99. It needs to be under 10 bucks. Or have it at $12.99, which is a popular price point that's clicked on. Okay, I hope that helps for pricing. Photos. Okay, some of your photos are really bad, especially this one. This here, they're all really pretty bad. The only decent ones that are in your shop are the ones with a white background. Now let me clarify, because a lot of people think that I only promote white backgrounds, and that's so not true. I'm not a huge fan of the stark white background. I think it looks very Amazonish or eBay-ish. But in some cases, it's necessary. If you have a product that has a lot of bright colors, or a product that has a lot of pattern on it, or it's very busy, it's got a lot going on, a lot of text, you don't want to distract that with background, right? Now, you know, a lot of your items, I could see that you could easily use mock-ups, and mock-ups are fine to use as long as you're the one that's creating the mock-up. You don't want to do one of these stock photos, because then what happens is your mock-up is just like every other person's seller's mock-up, and then all of a sudden it looks like you guys don't make handmade stuff, you make stuff that's bought elsewhere in bulk. So you have to be real careful with mock-ups. Or you don't use a white background like that, you use something light and bright, which means that you set your photo up in front of an interior window. You have a lot of nice light, soft white light, say that 5 times fast. So you want early morning light, or you want overcast days have a really good lighting as well, because it's diffused. There's also a lot of different tricks that you can use and do to take photos of your product. We have a lot of product photographers in Flourish that you can talk to about this, and they can give you some tips on what you need to do. Let me just go ahead and look for a decent example. So we're going to do a personalized coffee mug, okay? And let's just see what we come up with. Now, I'm going to tell you, 80% of sellers on Etsy have not very good photos. Their photos suck. I hate to say it like that. It's not very joyful, but it's true. They just don't look good. And you could say, well, my photos look better than, you know, most of these people's photos. Well, that's not good enough. You need to have amazing photos. And that means you either need to pay somebody to take your photos if you don't know how to do it, or you need to learn how to do it, or you need to make a mock-up. Either way, you just got to make it happen, because if you want to be a successful business, you have to have good photos. So we're going to talk real quick. We're going to go through about what's a good photo. Now this, you might say, is a good photo. This is a mock-up, and this is a standard mock-up that's used by, I can't even tell you how many sellers, that has this chick with the black and white shirt on and the red nails and the white coffee mug, and then they just put their design over it. So if you're going to make a mock-up, do one that not everyone else is using. This right here is a great photo. Okay, what is this person selling in this photo? Even though these are personalized mugs, and that's what you're looking for up here in the search bar, this person obviously is selling bridal party mugs. So these are more than likely bridesmaids on the morning of the wedding, and they're all having their coffee, and they're all wearing matching outfits. So this picture's selling a feeling. So in this picture, you don't have to focus on the product as much because it's selling the feeling, and that is important. That's good, especially if you're trying to reach that target audience. Now here's some more on a white background, kind of like you have. And here too, which you can barely see the mug here. I like the pictures of people holding them. I just don't like the standard mock-ups. Okay. This is too busy. This would have been a great picture with the cream, but it's too shadowy in the front, and you have the distraction of the frame in the back. This is nice. So whatever it is that's back here is blurred out enough so it's not busy or competing, and you have the mug nice front and center. You definitely do not want to do black. You definitely don't want to do anything with lines behind it because it makes it all goofy and wonky. Again, good one here. This is okay too. Some staging is okay, but this staging is just a little too much. You got a flower over here, books that looks like gems, a picture frame, and it kind of looks weird with the handle. This would be much better if all that stuff was out and it was just this with the wall. Much, much better. A lot of people like to put all this information in their thumbnail. They want to put their where you can reach them, tips and tricks, all their stats, and of course their watermark. That is awful. I do not recommend that you do that. Your thumbnail should simply be the product. Or the feeling that you're trying to create. You don't need to give all this information in the product. That's what your listing copy is for. This could have been a good photo, too busy, and it has the watermark on it. Watermarks are not good. You do not want to have a watermark in your photo. Fact of the matter is, with any standard photo editing software nowadays, watermarks can be removed within 30 seconds. I mean, it's very easy to do. If somebody's going to steal your picture, they're going to steal it and they'll remove the watermark. A lot of search engines won't even show your items if there's watermarks on it. It's very busy in search. It's very distracting. It's just not worth it at all, I don't think. If you want to somehow work your business name into the picture, like actually as the personalization or maybe as a prop, you can do that, and that's fine, but don't watermark. So these pictures are not good. None of these pictures are good. This would have been okay without the watermark. Terrible picture here on the carpet. I don't know why people take pictures on their carpet. This is a good picture, but it's still, the staging is too much, but it's still good lighting there. This is good here. See, so this isn't that stark white. Again, I think the staging is distracting. Staging is okay if it's done right. But if it's not done right, then it looks distracting. This is a good one here. Not a big fan of outside pics. This one isn't bad because the person blurred out the back good enough, and it's focusing on the coffee mug. But usually like this you see here, it's trees or plants in the background, and it doesn't look good. Okay, so I'm sure, and this is a good one. See, this is a white bottom with a white wall. Looks good. They have their watermark. It's very, very almost invisible. So that's not so bad. It's not distracting anything. You get a nice picture of what it is here. The shadow falls on the right side. So this is done well too. All right, so that's what I want you to try to do. I saw on your about page that you had a light box, so maybe I don't know if that's how you're making these or not. Get the wood out of there. The wood, it looks yellow, it looks brown, it looks red. It doesn't look good. It's not a good fit for your items. If you can't get a decent background, then just use the white, the plain white background. I think that once you change your branding, you tweak your pricing, and you switch out your photos, you're going to get a ton of business. Because right now, those things are really hurting you. All right, let's go ahead and pick an item for SEO. And I know that I am running over. I mean, we're almost at an hour for this critique, but it's good stuff that we're doing here. Okay, so let's look at SEO. Now we're going to talk about Etsy SEO. Etsy SEO, they focus on the listing title, which is right here, and they look at the tags, which is right down here. Now, both the listing title and the tags have what we call keywords. These are words that people will use to find your item, okay? It's words that they type into the search bar. Now, there are lots of tools out there to use. Two big ones are Marmalade, which works really well with Etsy, and the Google Keyword Planner, which works really well with Google, with items and queries from Google. I do not recommend that you use the Keyword Planner. I don't think it is a good use of your time because Google isn't just for products. It's for information, it's for articles, it's for blogs, it's for all kinds of, for websites. It's not just for products. The Amazon search bar on Amazon is a great place to find keywords. It has an auto-suggest feature just like Etsy does that lets you see the most popular and current search terms that are being searched. It's free. For me, Marmalade, they charge, and they give you a lot of wonderful information. They give you engagement and popularity and all of that. For me, I'm a little bit of a lazy person. I just simply, when I sold, I used the Etsy search bar. But you can use Etsy, you can use Amazon, Marmalade, any of those things, and you'll get some really good ideas for what keywords you should use. So let's just search on the Etsy search bar for now and see if the terms that you're using, if the keywords that you're using are being searched. So we got Santa Sacks with an S. Okay, it's funny because Santa Sacks, nothing came up, but Santa Sack did come up. So you see, as I type in Santa Sack, you see these blue, oh boy. You see these blue terms right here? These are the search terms that people are typing into this search bar to look for items. So Santa Sack Personalized, you don't have that. So instead of Santa Sack space dash space Santa Sack, I would have Santa Sack space dash space personalized Santa Sack or Santa Sack Personalized. Let's type in personalized. Personalized Santa Sack right there. Personalized Santa Bag right there. See? Oops. There's Santa Bag and Santa Sack. So I would definitely have those in there. Personalized gift, that's a good general one. Remember, with your title, you want to have kind of a mix of the targeted, specific, long-tail keywords, and then you also want to have some more general, shorter keywords in there as well, because you want to rank for both. So you want a good blend of those things. Let's see, you don't have personalized gift bag. Yep, personalized gift bag. That's absolutely what I would use to search. Bag from Santa, no. So you see, I'm just thinking of words that I would use, right? To look for things. And as I type it in, it's telling me what is the most popular search terms with the characters that I gave. So use that and double check the words that you're using. Is it coming up? If it's not, what is coming up that's similar, and switch it out. Then it's easiest usually if you copy the title, just copy it, and then in the tag section of your listing, as you're creating your listing, you can paste it and then just put commas in between the keywords. You want to take the same keywords that you have in your title, and you want those same keywords down in your tags. I don't think order matters, but I mean, what does it harm if you could copy it, paste it into your tags, and then comment it out? It'll already be in the right order. Now you might say, well, what if I have let's say I have Santa's personalized sack, and that won't fit in a tag. Well, then you can do Santa sack, and then you can do personalized sack. So you can break it into 2 tags. All right? Your copy is important. You want to make sure that you're selling the story. It's your digital salesperson. Usually for copy, I recommend the first paragraph be that yummy copy, that shut up and take my money description to have in there. And then the second paragraph should have the specs. What size is it? What is it made out of? You know, is there any certain specific care? Then the third paragraph, I'm really big on gratitude. I think you should thank your customers. Thank you so much for stopping by my shop. It means a lot to me. If you are looking for other Christmas decor, click here and interlink a link from another shop section, let's say your Christmas stuff, into your shop listing, into your listing. That interlinking also helps strengthen SEO. So now you're thanking them, you're giving them another option for them to click on and go look at and stay in your store, and that's what you want. You want people to stay in your store. So I hope that helps. I know that's a lot of information, and I'm sure you're going to have a lot of questions. You're more than welcome to message me on Facebook, tag me on the wall. I really appreciate your patience in waiting for your shop critique. And I hope this really did answer some questions for you. Let me know if you want that Etsy shop cover or shop icon. I can also create a social media one for you. And also let me know if I'm allowed to share this critique in the groups or group. I know a lot of other people would benefit from seeing it. So let me know if you're open to that, because they always would, they're always so very appreciative of those that are able to share their shop critiques. I wish you the best. Have an awesome weekend. Happy holidays. And I'll see you in Flourish. Bye.